Don't miss our last crash summer sale, August 13th through 19th.
Whenever we come here, we find what we're looking for.
I like this!
Welcome back to another episode of A Pinch of That, you guys. Woo! Okay. Today I'm here with 3 guests this time. Ricardo couldn't make it. He had to take his kids to
Stop. He's not even here. You don't have to do this.
Okay. Well, today we're talking about social media. The aspects of social media. We have 2 socialites here, as Juan put it, and 2 people who don't use social media at all.
That would be me and
Sherwin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't use social media. We don't have it. We don't want to have it.
Opposed to it.
Yeah, you do have one though.
True.
Okay.
Well,
But that's
I don't use it.
I don't use
They're
it.
not active on it.
I'm not active on it.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't.
Which one do you have?
Which
one do you have?
You can't.
What?
Which one do you have?
What do you have on social media? You have Instagram, right?
Who are you talking to?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I don't have Instagram. It's hard to know what you're looking at. We only have the screen, and you guys are always looking at the screen. Anyways, no, I don't have Instagram. I don't have.
Snapchat?
I have Snapchat, but I don't use it. Well, I use it, but like, I don't post things on it. And
Facebook?
Oh, you're just
have-
a creeper.
no, I use like Snapchat to come in contact with my classmates for like homework and stuff. Anyways, then Facebook, I only use it for like family. I don't have TikTok or any of the other stuff.
But LinkedIn, doesn't that count as social media?
I don't use it. I want to be as far away from that as possible.
It's more for business, for jobs, though, than social media.
It's cringy, bro.
But it's becoming more like a social media nowadays.
Yeah, it's like, look
and
at
it's
the
professional.
achievements that I have here.
There's people
Praise
bragging.
me, clap. They even have don't they have like a clap?
Yeah, they have a clap
Yeah.
function. Yeah.
So it's
Terrible.
it's a bragging place to brag.
It's where you can get pats on your
Oh,
back.
it sounds worse than Instagram.
It's,
In a
it's
way,
just
it's corporate mumbo jumbo, dude. Just go.
Oh Lord. I have a LinkedIn, but I don't use it. I made it and then I gave up halfway through the forms. I don't know.
Wow.
I sort of use it. I don't post it, but like I keep up with what's going on there.
I just use it
Professional.
to look on the job, like what jobs. are
So, thinking about that, I thought of it just now. Since you said it's becoming more of a social media-esque platform for LinkedIn, is that a metaphorically a disease? Like, because it gained something that it tried so hard not to be. The aspect.
I don't
of
think
being-
I try not to be a social media site.
I think
just-
they kind of want to be a social media.
Yeah, they wanted to. It's kind of like what Google Plus was trying to do.
Yeah. Well,
So-
did anyone have Google Plus? I had Google Plus.
I don't have a Google.
I don't
Plus.
have a Google.
No, I don't have it.
they ended it, but like I used to have it back in the day.
Were you on there?
Yeah, I was on there.
Were you
I
active?
like-
Oh wow!
Were you active on it?
Sort of.
No wonder you
Is it-
like decided that social media wasn't for you.
Yeah.
If that was your first
Just back
experience.
in like.
You got all the
I had
jobs,
Facebook.
and you said I'm done.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this, like you said, it's like a disease. No, I wouldn't say so. I would say that, like, it's whatever, like, people understand, like, certain things won't work when, like, society changes. So, of course, they gotta, like, change their, like, like, the way they present things or do things. It's seen everywhere. Like, like, there's some businesses, like Macy's and, like, all these other, like stores, they're, like, becoming more, like, social media friendly. Like, they'll be like, oh, you can hashtag this, or you can tweet this or at this. Like, they realize that this is the way to, like, get to the newer audiences and, like, the newer generation. Like, instead of just saying, like, hey, buy a shirt, you got to be like, this shirt looks cool. This shirt looks cool. At this person wears it, or at this is the new like it's lit. Like they gotta write something that will like like what do you call it? Relate to the new generations.
Yeah.
And the worst aspect of it is that it can be used by anybody of all ages. So you have young kids using these things and coming into contact with terrible people. So terrible things happen, and there's not much parents can do because, again, even if you take their phones away, they're gonna find a way of getting in contact with their friends or like strangers somehow. So there's not much you can do. Also, young kids, specifically women, are getting obsessed with being liked by everybody all the time. It's becoming more superficial, the way they do things, the way they behave, and the way the person they want to be. Same with guys, but specifically for girls.
Specifically for girls, yeah, I understand that. It's very obvious in how all the pictures they post is they all look like the same person.
They're trying to emulate this like basic girl.
I wouldn't say that. I would say what they think to be the model, like a Barbie.
Say basic because basic means something.
Not a Visco girl or something? Do you remember that term?
No.
Oh, it's spelled like VSCO, Visco girl. I think that's what you're describing. I think that's the term for that. We have internet. You can look it up.
Oh my! Why me? Why you singling me?
You're in front of the computer.
Okay.
We're all in front of the computer.
God, I didn't know where I became an assistant. Well, spell it again.
VSCO.
Oh, VSCO girls?
Yeah. I think that's what they call
What about them?
Well, I think that's the term Juan is trying to describe. I think that's the term.
A VSCO kid is someone who participates in the youth subculture that emerged among teenagers around 2019. Stands for Visual Supply Company.
Looking at the, I don't know. I don't think that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't think that's what we're talking about.
That's how detached he is from social media. He don't even know. You don't even know, Sherman.
No, I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
Are you saying like the whole icon status? Like if there's like a pop star or an icon, like people want to tend to be like that? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, they're the ones who are trying to like be really active on like Instagram, posting all these pictures. I think that's the term that's used to describe them.
And I mean, and according to studies, depression and suicide rates are increasing in correlation with social media use. Less people are dating now, and less people are taking risks in life. And when you see the trends, they kind of correlate with the increased use of social media and the internet in general.
Risks like big life decisions.
Yeah, like moving out, decisions. Getting getting a license, a driver license, even.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, people would just bike or walk or never
not go
leave their
anywhere.
house. Yeah. You beat me to it. That sounds familiar.
You know what? I might be a victim of this crappy system.
Even though you don't even use social media.
No, because it's more like an internet thing.
I will say this
thing in general. Go ahead.
I was on the other side for the longest time of like I'm not going to use social media because like for the longest time like I've seen people around me like use social media like Facebook and everything, and I didn't have any until I started college. Like I got my first Facebook like account when I started college, like a month after college, and my Instagram account I got second year of college, and I didn't want it at first. I was like, because I seen people like getting so involved with it. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be like those people. But then like as like slowly like I start to realize like when people like tell me like, hey man, like give me your contact information. I'm like, yeah, sure, I get my number. No, Instagram, like add me on this. And I started to realize like, oh, okay. And then like I had to make one. Like the whole like being social now is like no longer like give me a number, let's text. It's more of let me see what you post, what you're about, And like I slowly like I'm not saying like I'm active, like super active, but like I understand now that you had to now to live in this world, you had to present an image. You had to present like this is you, you know.
So,
Because
like
And not
Black Mirror.
necessarily the real you either.
True, that's true.
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juan knows.
Yeah, I know.
The episode where, for people who don't know, the episode where all their lives is social media, and you live based off of a rating, correct?
It's like the class system is based on your social media rating.
Yeah.
And you have to pretend to be somebody likable just so you don't fall into a lower class in this class system. So everybody's
Sounds
fake. Yeah. It might happen, honestly, with this trend. Like,
Well,
How long can you postpone
apparently,
it?
from what you said, with the suicide rates going up, if you're a low enough class, your class doesn't exist because you're dead.
But here's the
You
thing,
don't
though. Like
exist.
you say, like the whole like suicide rate, and like I mean, like think of it this way. At one point, like in the 2000s and between 2000 and 2010, 11, the biggest thing for suicide rates and everything was either drug abuse or like bullying, like kids getting bullied or people getting like attacked. Like there was like, you know, because if you think nowadays, like is bullying still a thing? No, it's no longer. You know, really rare.
No,
Really
no,
rare.
It is a thing. It's still definitely a thing.
it's not.
Well, like not
rare.
there's not as open. Like you're not gonna see the typical like big kid like
Oh, no,
knocking
it's more
over a
brutal.
small kid's
It's
lunch
more
money or
brutal,
something. You
'cause
know?
it's hidden.
But like
Yeah.
it just transferred to social media.
Right. That's
A
what I'm
lot of
saying.
times.
Like, yeah, it's more verbal than like, cause like I grew up in the freaking like let's take it outside. Like, so now it's just like, hey, I saw what you tweeted yesterday. You want to go? Like, it's a change, but is it a good or bad one? I don't know. I just know that you gotta like accept it and like move on. You know,
Look.
just get one and move forward.
Yeah. See, this generation.
I missed a little piece, and in my head, I thought he said, "I think you just need to get bully and get over it." In my head, that's what I crossed paths with different sentences.
No, I just said that you just gotta like get social media, like just like get like like introduce yourself to it, and then like just move forward with it. Like this is part of your life now. This is a thing.
I don't think.
Dude, I can't
That's
be
not
as fake
necessary.
as those people, as you.
Well, you don't have to be fake though. I don't understand why you have to be fake. Like,
I don't think I have it in me, dude.
but here's the thing though. Like, there's some people who like post like examples like my account. Like, there's nothing fake on there. Like, it's just stuff that I do. You understand?
What
do you
I do
post?
is not fun, dude.
I mean, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
Well, it's
You
what you
push up.
think. The sites aren't what you think. Other people think is fun is what you think is fun,
No.
and it has never mattered. Honestly, has never mattered what a popular gets, because in the end, it's just your friends who liking
No.
your
See,
stuff
okay.
and
See,
thinking.
that's the logical reason. But these kids that are coming up into this world don't think like that. They want to prove themselves
Okay,
to everybody.
well, you have control over that.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
are you saying you? Say these kids, because I feel like you guys are talking directly to me. Here.
Well, using you for example though, like you can control who you
I'm
want to be
good,
friends
dude.
with.
I'm good. I'm
who's
not
not-
because I don't need it.
No, I'm just saying like for people like of that like who are like not about it as much. Like you can control like that aspect, like who you want to add as friend, who you want to see the post, who you,
You know
don't want to
what?
see.
I don't
Yeah.
think I haven't used it because I do look at it like from either another people's or just searching things up. Is that considered using it? I guess it is, right? If you look but don't interact.
Mm-hmm.
It's called.
Don't say it. Huh?
Don't say what.
Fucking
It is
something
called
creepy.
being like a. Yes, it's called being like a social media creeper.
Fuck off,
What?
dude.
Not
They
a
post
creeper.
it.
Okay,
It's for them.
okay, not a creeper, but you lurk.
Yeah,
You
sure. You can say that, I guess.
You're a
I mean,
lurker.
The original use for all these social media was for what? Just to people keeping track with each other, like keeping like check like people's lives and everything. But then it just got out of hand. That's all that happened.
Well, the original social media was MySpace,
Oh god.
and that was about the same as Instagram, is it not?
No, it's more like
No,
Facebook.
it was more like
Facebook.
Facebook. But the thing about that is that MySpace, you could make your page exactly like you wanted. At least that's what I understand.
Yeah, you're right.
You could make edit the entire. I think it'll be more like Tumblr, is it? Because that's the kind of people that would use it.
I never used Tumblr, and I've never even touched that site, dude.
Yeah,
Have you seen like what comes out of that site?
yes.
It's- I think
Wasn't
it's
that
similar.
like, isn't Tumblr shunned for having a lot of porn?
What?
and yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, they were shunned for having a lot of porn, and then they made policy changes, and all of that was gone, and everyone stopped using Tumblr.
I always associate it with just like really liberal emo.
Yeah,
stuff.
like really.
That's what I got from it, at least from what
That was
Okay,
the opposite
so-
of Reddit.
I was gonna let Sherwin say something.
Yeah, I just thought it was like the opposite of Reddit, like how demographically, Reddit is like mostly male and Tumblr is mostly female.
Yeah. That is what I understood too. Which makes you think: are they more into that? Questions for the decades.
Yeah, sure.
Think about it. There were more girls on there than there are on Reddit, and look at what they posted. The difference in
They make fun of each other.
it's funny.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always a new social media app or site every a year or two. Like TikTok came out of nowhere all of a sudden. From
Yeah,
at least
but
in my
that's-
perspective, like it was just there, and I'm like, okay, where did this come from?
It becomes viral.
There was
What's
Vine,
up,
right?
mates?
Vine also went away.
Yep.
I feel like Facebook is the only persisting one. Like it's not gonna go away. What about YouTube? Do you guys think YouTube will last another decade or so?
I think so.
Yeah, YouTube will last.
If they don't make any policy changes, no.
I feel like it's
'Cause-
becoming more corporate. You know what I mean? More for the corporations than it
'Cause
is
it's
for
so-
the content
yes.
creators.
Yes. It's no longer. They took the U out of YouTube.
Or the communists like we. Like I want
was a
YouTube.
big
No,
laugh.
this is RTube.
I'm in an
Nah.
uncomfortable position.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna last another decade. Honestly, I think it's gonna be replaced by something else.
I think it'll just have some major changes.
I mean, they're already like copying like Instagram, like doing stories and like doing like certain things. So
They're trying to keep up with the times, yeah.
Be trendy.
Yeah. YouTube feels like an old man.
Because it is. It's from
Yeah.
like 2003 or something like that.
Yeah, but if you look back on it, it has gone better.
Well, there's
15
more
years old.
stuff on there.
I mean, it depends because like
I like how
yeah,
we're
there's almost
trashing the platform where you're gonna post this on.
Everyone does it. It's fine. You got to do it at least once in a while.
I mean, you look at it like this, like, dude, a lot of people's careers like get made on social media. Like you saw, like with TikTok, like Charlie, what's her name, Charlie D'Amelio, and whatever the other one is. Like they have like a deal with
like ER,
or I don't know.
like a doctor show. Like
Oh,
a
yeah.
medical show.
Right, like,
like
they
House?
have their own deals now with like jeans. Like they do like Apostle, right? Or what is it?
I don't know, but just hearing about it though.
Like all they did was like do a dance with their hands and like that's all they
That's
did.
like the most frustrating thing ever. These people are like breaking their backs, building up a business, going to school, working at some, hard job. And these kids just have to dance for a bunch of creeps and
They do a Fortnite dance and then they have
and
millions.
then they get money.
Yeah. It's insane.
Well, they're working smart instead of hard.
That's where I'm a little annoyed. I wouldn't say smart as I would say crafty and right time, right
Yeah, that's more like it.
Wait, for
Crafty.
what? For
these people who get a bunch of money for the smallest reason.
they're
These viral people.
they're not dumb. They're quite smart
Normal.
actually, because they know how
They're
to
just normal
promote
people.
themselves. They know how to promote themselves.
I wouldn't say that. It's just an accident that
not?
they became that famous.
No, yeah, you
Yeah.
become viral, but to keep that fame going on for longer than like a week or so, it takes a bit of thinking and manipulating. Because there's people they gone viral and we don't know their names anymore, and there's people that became viral once, but they kept on going because they either sold merch or they start on different things. They somehow started appearing on shows for no reason and stuff like that. And I mean, look what the Catch Me Outside girl did. She took advantage of her fame. Like
Bad Babby or something like that.
whatever her name is. Like
But you saw what happened to her, right?
No, what?
Yeah, she like got into drugs and then she went to rehab and now she's out and like.
Yeah, that's unexpected. That happens. But the point is that they make the network or whatever you want to call it. So
they
it
linked
thinks
the network because of how famous and lucky they got.
but they were able to use that.
Yeah,
Like,
because they suddenly gained all these opportunities that they didn't have before by accident.
Doesn't that annoy you? Doesn't that like piss you off?
Not really.
It
Like
pisses me off.
Yes, it does.
I mean, like the only way I think right now is like there's not many like Bill Gates and like Steve Jobs like types out there not anymore. Like most of the people that want to like be their own inventors and everything, they go to either Silicon Valley because they get like taken for like what Tesla or whatever to do like studies or research, and then like people who do it, they are like shunned. Like, what did you make? Oh, a flying car? Oh, bro, it's nothing. We have Tesla. Like it's nothing special.
I think the reason is because it's harder to do anything new nowadays. Everything is maybe it's because social media or the internet, but as soon as there's a good idea out there, it gets saturated. Like as soon as you start a YouTube channel that does something different by I don't know doing something stupid, there by the next day everybody's doing it. It gets saturated. You lose that uniqueness. And same way, like you said, the examples of Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and stuff. What they did wasn't that expensive to do at the time. Building a computer, they sold parts all like for cheap, right? Nowadays, to make something like technology-wise that it's worth selling, you need expensive as multi-million-dollar equipment. And even then, there's bigger companies that are gonna see what you're doing and just start copying you, right? You know what I mean? Like everything is it's control. I don't want to say corporations because I don't want to sound like Ricardo. like the whole social socialist spiel. But yeah, the main thing I'm trying to say is that it's harder to be unique now because there's so much more attention. I mean, there's so much more competition, and it's more expensive to do anything new. Because before the internet, everything felt more isolated because you didn't have that many connections. So what you did was a little bit more localized. And now it's everywhere. You put something out there, everywhere. It's everywhere because of the internet. So you have a bigger audience, more competition, a bigger crowd to please.
So let me say this.
Sherwin, that check out?
Yeah, it does. I mean, Juan does make a good point that it does get saturated really quickly.
Yeah, and go ahead.
No, I mean, with social media, I mean, like if you like the point I'm trying to make is like there's like a lot of if you look at like a lot of patents and stuff, that's the only way you can protect yourself from being copied, and the only people who can afford that are big corporations.
And dude, I bet that Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, all these inventor guys were not the first to do what they did. I'm sure there were other people that did it, but they weren't recognized because for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, a lot of the work that Steve Jobs did was like Steve Wozniak.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs is just the marketing guy, basically.
Exactly. Maybe that's the reason why it's hard for inventors to do anything because most of them don't have those marketing skills. You know what I mean?
A lot of people who go around inventing don't tend to be particularly social.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say, maybe there were a lot of people like Steve Jobs or Steve Wozniak, all these inventors out there. But since there's no internet, there's no way for them to get their ideas out there. So the reason why they might have been successful, Steve Jobs and all these guys, is because they were already in California, which is a relatively rich state with a lot of investors, right?
Yeah,
But say
That
it was
was
the
it.
modern day, right, with internet access, you could have had someone invent the exact same thing as them, but they could have connected through the internet through the investors here in California and
Yeah,
gotten
that
us
was their
the deal.
advantage. Like they lived in Silicon Valley. Like they were right next to like IBM or HP, Stanford University. So they were like right in the middle of the action. So they had access to a lot of information and investors. So that was their advantage, their location.
The location and the resources, yeah.
Yeah, and now everybody has access to it through the internet. So there's more competition and there's less unique inventors that just sprout out of nowhere.
Straight up dog eat dog world.
Would you guys consider OnlyFans as a social media platform?
What the fuck are you talking? Oh, I thought you were gonna like say consider making an OnlyFans. I was like, whoa.
I consider making an
It is the
OnlyFans.
social media platform. Yeah.
I don't
To some
think so because it's paid. You have to pay to access it.
Yeah.
So I don't use it, so I don't.
I mean, it is by definition, but I don't think in practice it should be considered one.
How old is it? Like I only heard about it like the last few months. Is it an old site or
I think it started this year.
it started this year? Bro.
Dude, I want to know who started it. Who was the genius
Missing.
that started this? Was
The
it
funny
you,
thing is
Gerardo?
all the people who start
Um,
social media tend to be like
Me under a different name.
Why didn't we come up with this? We knew this was going on other social media sites.
So it was founded by Timothy Stokely, and his website with no official apps. As currently has 30 million users and 450,000 creators.
OnlyFans isn't unique though. There's plenty of other things that have been done like that before.
But it was kind of like a side thing. It wasn't the main focus. You know what I mean? It
It was meant for celebrities or people with following with fans, and it became what it became.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it says right here, like it was meant for like people in the fans, and then now it's with sex workers, but also hosts contents from genres as physical fitness experts, musicians, and people who regularly post online.
By the way,
like
how
the
do you guys
last
feel?
story.
Sorry, guys. How do you feel about sex workers being like the sex working being like a legitimate career
Nowadays,
that empowers women everywhere?
I disagree on both those.
Explain.
It is a job now, and it empowers women.
Are you rephrasing what I said, or is this what you
I
feel?
think I meant it in a sarcastic way.
Oh, okay.
I do think it's a job. It is a legitimate job.
I mean, you make money. Yeah.
It's not anything different that these viral people make money by doing a dumb dance.
No, they're
Like
doing
you just
a
said
dance.
earlier.
They are doing a dance.
Yeah, it's not anything different then.
But are those people even valid?
Oh wow.
Are they even valid? Do they even have a choice? I'm just kidding.
Is it even a job? I mean, what would you classify them as?
All right, tell me how this would be empowering women though.
That's what they say. That's what they say. Feminists.
There's male strippers. Does that mean guys aren't? Male strippers don't empower men. Strippers don't empower women. And this is the same thing, but you're just doing it on the internet for a crap ton of more people instead of in person and in a building.
True.
I don't know. It's just the oldest profession, I guess.
So, like before there were kings and queens, there were sex workers. Like,
oh yeah,
there was
and that's
OnlyFans.
actually true.
I mean, I'm putting this on my beliefs. Well, like, is it a job? No, like it shouldn't be. But
define a job. What would be the definition of a job? It's a job by definition.
If IT is a job, there's a job.
Oh wait.
Okay, but then like the whole empowerment thing, like the whole like female empowerment has been like skewed since like 2000 something. Because in female empowerment used to be like, well, whenever the men went to the war, females took over and it's like running the factories and everything. That made sense, right? Like that makes sense with female empowerment. So then, when did from then to now did it get messed up? When did female empowerment become like, yeah, I like to throw it back in a circle? That's empowerment. Like when did that change? That's the question.
Would that be the hippie era? Everything became sideways during the hippie era.
The pill.
Well, people became sideways also, but I don't think so.
The pill changed everything. Contraceptives, as soon as that came out into the market, the whole sexual dynamics between women and males changed.
You mean as soon as women had the opportunity to not have kids?
Yeah. I'm
But
not saying
the
it's bad or good. I'm just saying
ma-
that changed the whole
males-
dynamic.
Males made contraceptives, correct?
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm.
What does that have to do?
It means that
We gave them power?
males
No.
shot them. I wasn't going with that. But that's funnier.
How does it feel that your power came from a guy? We gave you permission to.
That's so messed up. Though. It's like we have a
damn.
choice. No, we gave you a choice.
I thought you started the ball that became the boulder. No.
That's jokes. I don't know. I'm just saying, because here's the issue, is because it's so skewed that we have like cuties and stuff like that. Like that, it becomes like to that situation. Like, where does it end?
No, cuties was just a mistake, and everyone
Oh my God,
agrees.
Still stuck with that.
But no, here's the thing, Gerardo. They're saying that if you like listen to the French, who the director was or the producer, she said that this is the movie documentary. I think is it? I don't know. It's supposed to represent female empowerment at a younger age.
Expression. I think they just honestly, people have forgotten what empowerment means.
They associate it with sexual expression for some reason.
Yeah.
It's because it's the only thing going on for them, dude. It's the only thing
Okay,
they have. Like this right here. It's not born.
Spoken by a true
You
philosopher.
pointed at your brain, right?
Shut
Well,
up,
it's just
dude. I
praising
didn't
himself.
say it for a reason. Nah, but like, you know what I mean? Like it went from like back in, I guess, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. Empowerment was like getting women into like high skill jobs, right? Like, engineering firms, business, architecture, all those high skill jobs or whatever. And like porn and like sexual worker was degrading to women at that time, right? It was viewed as men oppressing women because they kept them exploiting their bodies, etc., etc. I don't know what happened, but like in like recent times, it became the opposite. Now, letting a guy exploit you for your body was like okay as long as the girl like can make money out of it, too. And that brought to, especially when social media and like taboos went away, like it was acceptable to show sexuality in the media and stuff. Young women saw this and like they seeked an opportunity to make that money too, or like get that power through their sexuality. And instead of saying no, you should be focusing on what you have to offer from other parts of you, not just your sexuality. Nobody said that, so that's what we have now.
I think plenty of people said that, but it didn't click.
No, it was sexist at the time, right?
It still is.
Well, yeah, that's true. You can't say that, right? Because then you're body shaming or whatever.
No,
slut shaming.
Basically, anything is a sensitive topic. Anything that comes out of your mouth that isn't what somebody else said, that isn't agreeing with someone, is suddenly fat shaming, body shaming, sexist, racist, anything.
PC culture.
Even if it's not, it's just people who want to be
in a safe place.
I don't know.
Space.
Sensitive people who don't understand complex, human relationships.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's a hard thing to do. Like listening and hearing people you disagree with is difficult, right? You don't want to see things you don't want to see. That's just natural, right? So the natural reaction to that is, oh, I need to shut this person down. They should not have a platform to speak. I mean, we're all guilty of that, right? At some point, you're like, no, dismissed, right? You don't want to listen. You want them to have a bad day, whatever. So it's hard to do, but that's what we have a constitution, and that's what we fought for, like rights and shit. Because it's hard to listen to someone you disagree with, so we had to write it down on a piece of paper because it's a hard thing to do. And now people are ripping that away.
Basically, you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like just with it. Get over it. You can't do anything about it.
But you have to be equal how you apply it, right? Because if you start allowing whatever topics, just pick something that's controversial. Criticizing fat people. How about that one, right? Saying
I'm
that
offended.
being
Okay.
fat, you're not even fat. Saying that being fat or obese is unhealthy is now bad, right? It's either sexist, body shaming, or whatever. It's just bad nowadays.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, you know perfectly well what I'm talking about, Charlie.
Yes, our Lizzo episode.
Yeah,
I'm beautiful and big. No, you're just big.
yeah. So if we let that through, we have to let the other stuff through as well.
Mhm.
So if we let, whatever the left is doing, whatever, like, I don't even know what they're saying anymore, but if we let that through, then you should be able to let people who are sexist, homophobic, or whatever speak. Because if you want to apply freedoms to one group, you have to apply to all of them to have equality, right? Even if you don't like it, if you disagree with them, you just have to hear and listen and make a decision. But you have to be able to listen.
Okay, so homophobic people, racist people, sexist people.
It's hard because we all agree that that's bad, right?
Yes.
For the most part.
But these people aren't doing anything illegal.
Exactly. They're not doing anything.
They're being who they think they are, what they think is right. And we're doing what we have to, what we think is right. And like you said, we have to deal with that.
We have to. We cannot like freaking like either, I don't know, like cancel them or whatever.
Basically their right to be homophobic, to be racist, to be sexist.
Freedom of expression, freedom or whatever.
It's funny what Juan said before, like how they like took like was something that was negative and they switched it to like something to be positive. Because there was a professor who was, I remember his article, he said that at one point, if you remember, like certain things that are like over time they like switch like the connotation. Because like remember the whole N-word situation, or like back in the day, like when white people use the N-word to like African Americans, it was negative, right? Like it wasn't meant as a nice thing. It was just like the most terrible thing you could say to somebody, right? Like degrading. But now it's the opposite. Now it's like a term of endearment. Like it's used between like African Americans. Pretty much everybody uses it, but they're not supposed to, but they all do. So like it's switched now. It's now a positive connotation between a certain culture, right? So like you can argue that that's what like Juan said, like the whole like what do you call it, empowerment and everything. Like it switches over to like certain things become like positive over time.
Yeah, I guess it's because they try to seek what they could have, like what they could have power over. For example, the N-word thing. Once they passed the 13, 14, 15, all those amendments, they gave African Americans freedom and the rights to basically what every other person had in this country. They could now, in a way, legally have power over a white person that was being racist, even though it didn't happen. That was the idea, right? So the N-word became, I guess, like something they could have above them, because now they had the right to, either sue or like call them out as being racist or sexist, because now it was in the law, right? So this word could be used in their favor now, because only they could use it. If someone in the white majority used it, they could call them out for being racist. So that's a little bit of power that they had over them now. So they adopted that word, I think, for that purpose. So I guess the same thing with like sex workers and all that. Yeah, it was oppressive, right? But once they realized they could have power over men in terms of financial power through sex, they used that as empowerment, because they literally could have power over them, either through monetary gains or like by basically calling out every scumbag that cheated on his wife one weekend. They had power through that, so they adopted it as part of their thing, as something they had could use over the rest, the guys, I guess.
Yeah,
it's all about power. It's all about power, guys.
It's all about power. Just like I have the power to stop recording right now.
Wait, hold on. Look what happened with Biden and Harris, right? She was like an enemy in the debates, but as soon as Biden found out that she could bring in votes for him, they became best buddies. He adopted her.
All right, and that's where I'm going to stop the podcast.
All right.
You said you weren't gonna make it political this time around.
Oh, damn it.
And the last thing you finished off with was I should have ended it like 30 seconds before.
This can
So it's
still
political.
end. You can cut
I'm not
it.
gonna make it political. I'm not gonna.
Sorry.
Oh God.
It's like that. What do you call it? The Kanye West and Taylor Swift. She's all like, "Hold on, I'm gonna let you finish." But
All right, you guys, it's getting pretty late, and I need to go to work tomorrow.
Okay.
same.
All right, you guys, we're signing off. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. This has been G, Juan, DJ Khaled, and Sherwin.
Another one.
I
You're gonna get sued. You know that?
think
We're
you
gonna
can
sue.
legally say that. I'm just kidding.
Let's do DJ
All
Khaled.
right,
You're in person.
everyone say bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Thank you for listening if you made it even this far.
Probably
Bye.
not. I wouldn't, honestly.